Since the turn of the 20th century, polio, also known as infantile paralysis, had become an increasingly menacing fact of American life. Highly contagious, the polio virus tended to strike during the summer.
It was very reliable. Come June, July, you began to see cases of polio, and they continued on through September.
The symptoms ranged from a mild headache and nausea to muscle weakness, paralysis, or death.
One never knew how it would go. Would it pass through the body and the person would get up out of bed a few days later just fine? Would there be one leg damaged? Would both arms?
The paralytic effects would last for life. And you didn't have to look very far to see people who had been crippled with polio and crippled in terrible ways.
America was experiencing the worst economic depression in its history. Charity's traditional source of funding, donations from the rich, had completely dried up. Worse still, the number of cases of polio continued to rise.
What made polio so questionable, what made it so hard for people to get a grip on, was that at the very time America was becoming a cleaner, more antiseptic society, the polio rates were going up dramatically.
In time, scientists would unlock some of polio's mysteries. They would learn the virus entered the body through the mouth, that it passed from person to person through contaminated water, food, or physical contact. They would come to understand that modern sanitation actually helped explain the prevalence of the disease. Infants in clean environments were less likely to be exposed to the virus and develop lifelong immunity.
Before improvements in sanitation, all children were born with antibodies against polio. When we had improved sanitation, children started to become exposed to polio later and later in life, at a time when those antibodies they had received from their mother had already disappeared. And that's why you saw an emergence of the disease.